All right, hot start to this video, but welcome back everybody. Jake with Legacy 4x4 here again, and today we're going to be doing the siding and the roof plywood for my shop extension. 100% do-it-yourself, like everything on this channel. So let's go and get started, guys. So like I said, I'm already pretty hot and sweaty. I just moved all of the plywood out of the back of my truck. What I'm using is some 7/16 OSB, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm doing this project because this is when time kind of worked for me. This is when I had the available time to do a project like this as quickly as I possibly can. But man, two things here. One, I'm doing this in July in North Carolina, which is extremely hot. So it takes about 5 seconds and then you start sweating. And then not only that, lumber prices are really expensive right now. So getting all of the plywood for this cost about $800 just to get that plywood alone from the store. It is what it is. I can't help it. I got to get this thing done. But we got all the plywood. Let's go in and start putting this thing together. I'm really excited. I'm going to try to do this in one day, but we'll see how far I get today before I've got to go do some other stuff. But anyways, let's go and get started, guys. All right, so we're making really good progress. I got the rest of the roof nailed in, and I've got the larger sheets on the wall, the 4x8 sheets. Those are all nailed into the wall, with the exception of the one right back in the corner there. I'm leaving that one open because the air compressor's right there, and I've not yet done my inside the shop switch for the air compressor that I'm gonna do. So I'm leaving that wall open, and it's gonna be the very last wall that I nail up. Just that way I have access to the air compressor nice and easy. But anyways, we got the roof done, which is huge. Again, a lot of work to do by yourself, but very manageable. Again, just using some leverage. I used like a piece of scrap plywood, nailed it into the very edge of the truss, would then lift the plywood up onto the top of the roof, push it up while walking up a ladder, and then rest it on that little bracket. And that's how I was able to get it to rest up there so I can climb up on the bigger ladder, position it into place, and then nail it down permanently. It worked out pretty easily. I am sweating. It's like 95 degrees outside right now, but it is what it is. We're gonna go through now and do these upper sections right above me here and get the very last part of the shop skinned up and finished up for the day. All right, and just like that, you too can put a roof on in a day. I apologize, I did not videotape yesterday. I was going to, and I was gonna videotape making the whole roof and everything like that. And then a friend of mine and his dad randomly stopped by and decided that they wanted to help. And we ended up just getting into a groove. It started to rain on us, but we were in such a good groove getting work done that we went ahead and did the entire roof yesterday, and I completely forgot to video record most of it. So what we have left, I obviously need to go through and I need to clean up that ridge line there, and then I'm gonna start putting on the trim, and I'm gonna wrap the lower portion of the building and all that kind of stuff. So let's just go and keep on moving forward. We're making good progress. This thing is actually finally starting to look like the shop, and I'm really excited with it so far. You can obviously tell right there in the middle where the extension was added. It is very hard to get a roof line to match up perfectly, especially when you're trying to make it all waterproof and everything like that. So there's a little bit of a ripple there where the old roof meets into the new roof. Eventually, with time, the shop is going to get a metal roof. It just wasn't in the budget for the build right now. Whenever it does eventually get a metal roof, you won't be able to tell that there was even an extension ever added. But anyways, so far, I'm super happy with it. It's coming along really nicely. Let's go and keep on moving, guys. All right, so I'm actually going to end it here. Unfortunately, I'm out of time that I have to work on this video, so I'm going to go ahead and end this project where it's at. You guys can see what's left is really just monotonous anyways. It's hanging up the rest of the siding on that back wall behind me there, and then on the far wall next to the air compressor. And then I just got to go through and do some trim pieces along the soffit, do the actual soffit, and then cut along that edge of the roof line back here, and clean that up, put in the drip edge, and then do the trim up there. So really it's just a little bit more trim work, and then we're gonna be done with this. But this is gonna have to be the end of this video where we're at. The next video is gonna be doing the barn door for this side of the shop. That's gonna be a sliding barn door, 8 feet wide, 8 feet tall. Should be a fun little project. That's gonna be the next project that we have coming up for this shop build. At the start of that video, I will show you guys what all of the trim pieces and everything else looks like all finished up. But I want to get this video edited and get it hosted so that I can move on to the next project and kind of do the rest of this off camera. So sorry for this a little bit early, but you will see this in the next video, so make sure to stick around for that. This turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It's obviously not completely perfect. You can see, well, there's very clearly a color difference between the front of the shop and the back of the shop. And you can kind of see, if you get really close to it, you can see where the extension was added, but that's okay with me. You got to get pretty close up to notice that it was an extension. I'm going to caulk it and then repaint it and repaint the entire shop when I'm finished. So this should look more like just one solid piece of building instead of like two buildings put together. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this. Again, this is my first project. I did most of this myself. Fun video nonetheless. I had fun doing it. I'm going to go ahead and knock out the rest of this siding when I've got some free time, and I will catch you guys on the next one.